Hello everyone, this is Donna from Even the Scales. Thank you for joining me. Before I start, I'd just like to thank my new subscribers for supporting me on my channel, and I want to thank the people who keep coming back and watching my videos because it's really helping me to keep going in the situation that I'm in. Thank you so much. I'm on my channel right now to protect my oxygen in my home once again from my neighbours. I've already made a video. I haven't had a chance to upload it yet, but I'm about to. The video I uploaded this morning was addressed to St George Community Housing. I spoke to them through that video because St George Community Housing is my landlord. They have rigged my neighbours' homes so that they can abuse the air in my home to try and abuse me to death because they took bribes from the justice system to try and do that. What they're doing right now is using two mentally disturbed people that live downstairs from me to contaminate the air in my home 24 hours a day. The last video that I made was all about how I woke up to the creep who is a known pervert in the area, by the way. If you haven't seen my videos before, this person is a known pervert in the area. And the woman next door to him is a very cruel sadist. And they have control of the air in my home because of how St George Community Housing has rigged the range hoods so that everything that they put through them gets diverted into my home. I made that video, and I can't call my real estate, my landlord, like normal people, and I can't even send them messages to get help because they ignore me. They ignore my emails that I send them to try and get help. I have addressed these issues with them on several occasions. They either ignore me. If I call them, they make sure that they have verbal manipulation lined up to put me through, to gaslight me deliberately. And they've done nothing about this. This person that lives downstairs from me diagonally, he has been putting me through abuse since 2023, since probably mid 2023. So 2 years now. And I think I started writing emails to St George Community Housing back then. And these people downstairs are extremely dangerous people. They're mentally disturbed. You've only got to go back on my channel and look at the videos I've made to see that. You'll see it for yourself. St George Community Housing is doing this to me because they have taken bribes from the justice system. These two mentally disturbed people have control of the air I'm trying to breathe. They're dangerous people. I'm extremely traumatised. This has been going on for 7 months. Campbelltown police are involved. They encourage these two mentally disturbed people to abuse me. So far this morning, I've had this creep breathing cigarette smoke into my home. I've also had this woman. She has had dust on all night. Every day I have to spend 2 hours going over my home just to make it livable. I'm so traumatised by what they're doing to my air. This has gone on for 7 months. I'm extremely traumatised. I have severe PTSD. The minute I know my air's being contaminated, these people know it. They know that I have severe PTSD. This is why they're doing it. They also have the ability to watch my heart rate, because there is a device that's been implanted in my body by the health system that are also involved in this justice system cover-up, so that people can put me through abuse in this community here in Campbelltown, New South Wales, and watch my heart race as they do it. And it's like they're playing it like some sort of game. You know, if they get my heart rate to rise, it's like these people get points or something like that. And if something happens to me, they get a large sum of money. So right now, these two mentally disturbed people have been hell-bent on taking my life for 19 months straight. They have the ability to watch me on an illegal camera that St George Community Housing has placed in my home. Actually, cameras. There's a camera in my bedroom. There could be a camera in my bathroom, for all I know, and I just hope and pray that there isn't. But I wouldn't put anything past this landlord. If there is, there's nothing I can do about it. It's out of my control. It's way too late now. I mean, it's only been a couple of weeks since I found out about the camera being in my bedroom, and I guess I was just in denial for a long time. I knew that they were watching me in my living space. And then when I realised it was in the bedroom, I thought, oh my God, I didn't want to believe that people could stoop that low, like a landlord. Like, I just sort of thought, well, no, they wouldn't put one in the bedroom. Surely, yeah, there's a camera in my bedroom, and I'm just hoping that there's not one in my bathroom, but it's quite possible that there could be. I'm being degraded and humiliated and abused 24 hours a day in my home. These mentally disturbed people downstairs are cruel sadists. So's the landlord, obviously. Anybody that can put someone through this kind of abuse is deranged, as far as I'm concerned. It doesn't matter how much I plead. This woman downstairs, I have pleaded with her. I have cried out in distress to this woman to stop abusing me. She has no, not an ounce of empathy. He's a mentally disturbed pervert who's known for being a peeping Tom. So right now I'm trying to protect the oxygen in my home, and I just made a video. It was a fairly long video. I haven't uploaded it yet, where I'm addressing St George Community Housing in that video. I know they're watching these videos, but they're pretending they're not. But you've only got to put two and two together. If you go to the trouble of rigging a tenant's home to divert everything from the neighbours' homes that goes through their range hoods into that tenant's home so that you can purposely abuse them to death, you're watching the situation. Don't lie, St George. You're watching. You have someone watching me in my home 24 hours a day on these illegal cameras. So why are you sitting back prolonging this inhumane abuse? He was just breathing cigarette smoke into my home again. He's not going to stop, St George Community Housing. She's still sending dust through. She's not going to stop. They're mentally disturbed. These people, they don't have that mechanism telling them when to stop. They don't have that. There's something wrong. And you need to act immediately because my life is in danger. And every day this goes by, it's more and more negligence on your part. I am a good tenant. I look after my home. I'm one of the best tenants here. You know what St George Community Housing's motto is, everyone? It is great places, thriving people, connected communities. That is such a lie. That is such a lie. St George Community Housing has been abusing me to death since I moved here. They've tried to, and they're paying tenants to do that, and they've rigged their homes. This landlord's gone to extremes, and this landlord sits back and uses these neighbours like puppets, and he's like the puppeteer. And he's watching my heartbeat on a monitor too. He's watching my every move. He tracks my vehicle. He knows when I'm coming home, when I go out. He knows everything I do in my home. And he deserves to go to jail for the rest of his life when he's caught. He does. And so do the police that are involved. The police are still stalking and encouraging the abuse, but what they do, they sit a certain distance away so that my cameras won't pick up the siren. But they're still stalking and encouraging. They did it all day yesterday, the Campbelltown police. So right now I've got these two mentally disturbed people contaminating the air in my home. He's sending chemicals through, cigarette smoke. He's gone out and deliberately bought the strongest tobacco to traumatise me the most that he can. I mean, this person, he has done so much to put me through abuse in 2 years. He goes out of his way. He gets up every day and it's his job. It's his life. It's his life. He will deliberately go out of his way. He will get whatever he needs and do whatever he has to do from the second he gets up to the second I go to sleep at night. And even while I'm sleeping, he's lurking over me. And it's the same with her. And they've done the same since I moved into this place in 2020. It was going on back then. It was a setup with the justice system, my landlord, these neighbours and my family since 2020. I realise this now. But the abuse got more intense 2 years to 19 months ago. The abuse got more intense in between that period. That's when they started paying members of the community. Now there's only these 2 neighbours left, right? So basically what we've got here is a landlord and 2 neighbours and the Campbelltown police trying to murder someone. That's exactly what's happening. These people know I have severe PTSD. They know that my heart races. I'm severely traumatised by sirens. I'm severely traumatised by my air being contaminated, like anyone would be. So this is what they're doing. And they're doing it to deliberately cause me panic attacks over and over and over again, so that they're trying to wear my heart out so that I have a heart attack. It's being done several times a day. It's hell. It's hell being just put through constant panic attack after panic attack. And it's not just that. It's the chemicals he's sending through to my home. They're affecting me. I can't handle toxins in my body. That's why I had to give up smoking myself. They're trying to get me back on addictions too. They go to extremes. They'll try anything. They will try anything. They're trying to get me to swallow a bottle of pills. You know, they'll try anything. That they just think of anything. They'll mop the floor and hope that I fall down the stairs. This is what the landlord's like. They will just focus on every single detail of my... I'm being stalked so aggressively by this landlord and these neighbours. They are preying on my life 24 hours a day. So it's not just the panic attacks where they're physically making they're watching my heart and they're physically affecting me. So it's physical abuse. It's the air they're poisoning. He's sending through toxins from this strong tobacco he's got that filthy tobacco that you roll yourself. And it's so strong, and he's deliberately gone and got that because the girl who lived in the unit next door that was abusing my air with that, they knew I was severely traumatised by that, so they've gone and got the same tobacco to make sure the smell's the same, because back then when they were doing it, I could tell the difference between the 2 different tobaccos. That's how much they were doing it. His was different to hers. Hers was filthy. Now he's gone out and bought the filthy stuff to try and simulate her abuse to put me through that trauma again. It's disgusting. His house stinks. Every time he puts on his range hood, his whole home comes through into my home. So he's watching me 24 hours a day on an illegal camera. He's controlling my air. And he's just like, he may as well be in the house with me. This is how aggressively he's stalking me. That's how much control he has over my life. And this is a predator that St. George has given the power to do this. And it's the same with this woman. She's a predator too. And she's cruel. And she's sadistic. And she's just an empty shell of a person. There's just nothing there. I've begged her to stop and she won't. She's cruel as can be. And she's abusing, she attacks my air through the night with dust, trying to affect my breathing. My home fills with this dust every day. I have a disability. I'm weakened by the constant panic attacks and the adrenaline that runs through my body and constantly being in fight or flight mode. and then I've got to clean for 2 hours every day, which I shouldn't have to do, just to make my home livable, to be able to breathe in it. And I'm a good tenant who pays my rent. I don't bother anyone. I'm just on my channel sticking up for my life. So she's affecting my I can feel the dust that accumulates in my throat. I don't know if this stuff is cancer causing. I don't know. I've just got to hope that it isn't. You know, I'm not going to wear a mask in my home, even though I probably should be. I'm not going to, because why should I have to wear a mask in my home? St. George Community Housing should be putting a stop to this immediately. This is my oxygen. And you've been doing this for 7 months. So, you know, it's not only the physical abuse that you're inflicting on my heart by constantly provoking me, constantly sending me into this traumatic panic. It's the health problems I'm having from the dust itself, with my sinuses and the way that I'm having to breathe this in. I have to clean my house to make it livable. I have to do that. Like, I have to vacuum, and that's how cold this woman is downstairs. This is it. This is the cruelty level of this woman. So not only is she inflicting this abuse, watching my heart rate, stalking me like a demon. Both of them do. They never stop. It's all they do. It's all they do. She's sitting back watching me clean, getting satisfaction out of that too. And then I'm being humiliated and degraded by having to do that with an audience viewing into my home, because St. George Community Housing and the justice system is allowing random members of the community to view into my home. So these people downstairs, they're mentally disturbed people. And because they have this power, it's gone to their heads and they're addicted to it. They're addicted to watching me. They never stop. These are dangerous stalkers. They're addicted to having that control of being able to tamper with my air. It's a power trip for them. Then they're able to sit there, you know, and watch my heartbeat and think, oh, I did that. You know, this is how depraved these people are. They're disgusting people. I mean, it would take the most lowest of a human to do that. You know, that's not even human. It's not. It's inhumane and it's disgusting. And they're doing this for money. They're doing it for money. And not only that too, because they are people that, you know, they thrive off power. And, you know, because I am a good person and I am a person that tries to better myself every day and I don't bother anyone, these people like to have power over someone like that, like me. They like to feel like they've got power of my life. So that they're actually getting off on that, which is disgusting. It really is. That's what they're doing. And they're enjoying the attention they're getting from it. They are. So that's what's going on here. And I'm telling you what, St. George Community Housing, every time these people tamper with my air, you're going to see a video on YouTube. I think we're up to about 192 videos. And there's probably even more than that. But I've put 192 videos into a playlist. It's around that mark, at least 190. And it's all evidence. And every day that evidence gets more credible. It gets stronger. It becomes more and more tangible and seen and believed. And people believe me. They do. So if anything happens to me, St. George Community Housing, you're going to be up for murder. So I'm going to put up that first video that I recorded this morning, and then I'm going to put up this one. And then if I so much as smell the slightest bit of cigarette smoke in my house, you're going to get a video every time, okay? And those videos are just going to accumulate, like they are. And there are people viewing my channel. There are people coming back to these videos. They're watching, and there's people out there that must care to be doing that. So also, I just want to make it clear, if this is the first time you've seen my channel, my family are involved in this, because if you didn't know any better, you would probably think to yourself, well, why aren't your family helping you? My family took bribes from the justice system to be a part of this abuse. I know, it's unbelievable, isn't it? It's unbelievable. I mean, who'd do this to a family member? I did nothing to my family members. I was kind to them all. I was good to them all. I was very good to them, very good to them. And I think they looked at me like the weakest link because I was a kind person. I was probably the kindest person in the family. I was probably a bit gullible too back then. Like I've always tried to see the good in people before I see bad. And a lot of my family are narcissists. And until you know about narcissists, you can be very easily fooled. And if you're not careful, they can destroy your entire life. This woman downstairs, she has tried to destroy my life since the day I met her. And I've never done nothing to her. Never. I was nice to her. I offered her help. And all she's done is try to destroy my life since I've moved in. And that's why my family members too, that's why they're involved in this. They took bribes and they've also stolen an inheritance from me. So they're just sitting back prolonging the abuse too. They're watching me on the illegal camera that's in my home. They watch me go through hours and hours of traumatic suffering while they sit back with my inheritance, my legacy that belongs to me and my grandchildren. And I'm going to get it back. I am. I'm going to get it back from my grandchildren. That's what keeps me going every day, because that money belongs to me and my grandchildren, and it needs to be in my hands so it can be left to my grandchildren. So it's not flaunted away by my greedy family members who are selfish enough to sacrifice their own family member for money, because that's exactly what they did. And when they did that, they actually they threw away the best, one of the best, well, the best, I'm going to say the best role model in that family for those children. That's exactly what they did. Because there's no way in the world that I would ever do this to a family member. There's no way in the world I'd do this to my worst enemy, what I'm going through here. I'm going through torture. I'm going through suffering. St. George Community Housing has turned my house into a torture chamber. And it's been like that. It's been like that since Christmas, since they've been able to control my air. And I also think they were doing that as far back as early 2024. They were doing it as well. And they were trying to make me believe that I was schizophrenic and that I was imagining the smells that I was smelling. So I do think that they were doing it then too, but they were doing it in very subtle ways. So they've had control of my air for quite some time. They were going to gas me, but I started fighting for my life and I created this channel to protect myself. So, yeah, that was the plan. They were going to gas me in my sleep. I mean, why else would you rig range hoods over a gas stove? Which is another reason why I'm in a lot of danger here. And, yeah, this is happening because of a police cover-up, because of abusive cops that one of them's committed very serious crimes against women. I also spent 10 years in domestic violence where I never got justice. Police never responded to my calls properly, and that's why this is happening too, because they don't want the truth coming out about how police handled those calls, because they weren't handled. They weren't even followed up, and if they were followed up, I never heard anything back off it. Nothing was ever done. I wasn't treated fairly at all, and they don't want the public knowing that because of how many women have died in domestic violence situation over the past 10 years, because it has a lot to do with the police and how they handle the calls for help, how they respond. There's a very toxic culture in the police. As you can see, go back on my channel. There's a playlist of the videos. There's a playlist, and it's just all about the police and the abuse that I've gone through here in Campbelltown, New South Wales for the past 19 months. You will see how severely I've been traumatised and abused by the Campbelltown police as well. So that's why there's no help here. There's no authority to go to. I can't go to the landlord. I can't go to my family for help. I can't go to the police. They're all involved. The leaders of Campbelltown have sat back and watched this go on and done absolutely nothing. They're not doing anything to help me. I'm being discriminated against because I'm a woman and I'm on my own. That's the only reason. And it's being done to take my life. It's like the community has tried to abuse me to death as a group. And now it's just been narrowed down to these two neighbours, the landlord and the Campbelltown police, and my family, because they're sitting back watching it happen. So if anything happens to me, that's who will be responsible for it right now. And St George Community Housing, you better stop these neighbours from attacking my air. I've said it so many times. How would you like your air tampered with, whoever you are, whoever's doing this? How would you like your air tampered with? Do you know what that's like? Do you know what it's like to have your air constantly contaminated in your home when you don't do anything to deserve it? Nobody would deserve this anyway. Even someone sitting in a jail cell that's committed serious crimes wouldn't deserve having their air tampered with, St George Community Housing. You're committing crimes that are equivalent to war crimes that violate international criminal law. And you've also played a big part in the environmental crimes that have gone on here in Campbelltown over the past 19 months. Because of the cameras that you've got in my home. Get these cameras out of my home. I'm an innocent person. Please, if you can help me raise public awareness about this, please do, because people need to know that this landlord, St George Community Housing, is using mentally disturbed people to abuse innocent tenants to death, and they're doing it by attacking the oxygen in their home, contaminating air. These people could put anything through this. And this thing's sending air through. I don't know what he's got. I'm being forced to breathe his air. I don't want to breathe his air. Do something about him, because he doesn't listen. He doesn't listen. These people can't control their actions. That's why you need to get the police involved. Or their family needs to take action. And call mental health. Because anyone that does that like they're a risk to society. Please, if you can help me raise public awareness, people need to know about what the justice system's doing to people, innocent people, by abusing them to death, and what landlords like St George Community Housing are doing. Thank you very much if you've listened to this video to the end, and if you can help me by sharing a video, please do that too. And thanks again for the support. And do something about these people immediately, St George Community Housing.